Of all the privileges that come with fame and fortune, the guarantee of finding true love is not one of them. It seems like everywhere you look, celebrity relationships are falling apart. My name is Dr. Darcy Sterling, and I specialize in solving relationship issues. I've spent 20 years helping people deal with complicated relationship problems. I have seen and heard it all, and when it comes to celebrities, if you're rich, famous, attractive, and you can't find love, maybe it's time to look inside.
Thank you everybody for coming to our party. Everybody's single here tonight.
Over the next several weeks, you're gonna witness exactly what it's like to be both famous and single.
What I always wonder is, would she have approached me if I wasn't who I was?
We're bringing together 8 attractive single celebrities to watch what happens when they explore their deepest issues with love and dating together. This is the hardest work in the world, guys, and no one teaches us how to do it, right?
Never.
I'm gonna put them through a variety of unique dating experiments, each designed to put their issues to the test. Your partner's gonna have an earbud, each other's dating coach. You guys go on your dates tonight.
Brandy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you gonna grab his balls under the table or what?
In order to help them find what they're looking for, you're gonna be having a blind date mixer.
Oh man, I can't see a thing.
I'm gonna challenge them to do things they have never done before. You're gonna be finding your dates among the pedestrians here at the 3rd Street Promenade.
Let's go to the intersection. We'll either find someone or get hit by a car.
And when attractive celebrities live side by side,
You're falling in love with me?
Between you and I, like,
You're
I'm
falling in love with me?
slow your roll.
things are guaranteed to get interesting.
Don't hurt my feelings.
Then don't be nice.
Feelings are evolving quicker than anyone's comfortable with. My job is to guide them through this intense process.
I've had painful relationships.
If you want to be able to connect with somebody, you're gonna need to untangle that stuff. We're gonna strip away the fame and watch them struggle with the same issues we all go through. So tell me about your relationship with Eddie.
We were together for 13 years. I thought it was perfect.
There's no question, this is going to be an emotional experience.
Shut up.
That is bull.
Bitch to with.
Neither am I.
And some of these celebrities are gonna fight me every step of the way.
If I want to say you, I'll say you. You, bitch.
Let's face it, dating is hard, and dating as a celebrity is even harder.
I can't find a girl that wants me for the right reasons.
Have you been in love?
I don't think so, because I would know, right?
I think you'd know. And that's why these people are famously single.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone.
Hola.
So I think it goes without saying that everyone in this audience has played the dating game, right? Like, you've gone on dates, you've tried to meet people. It's not easy, it's not that fun sometimes. Talk to me about dating when you're actually famous. And how do you, first of all, do you immediately know if someone wants you for you or if they want to be with you because they want to be in Us Weekly?
Well, it's difficult on all those levels. First, you don't know their intentions. Why are they coming at you? Why do they want to date you? And then if you do date them, everybody's in your business. They know every step, every move you make, every post you post on social media. So it's a lot of pressure for a relationship. And I think relationships are a lot of pressure anyway. Mm-hmm. Now put the whole entire world in it, and it's disaster if you ask me.
And I agree, social media is brutal.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they assume everything. You know, maybe one of you isn't smiling in the photo. Something looks wrong in the relationship.
They're fighting.
Dun, 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 you know?
Well, but also, you guys bring up a very good point. If you date so-called civilians.
I think Pauly expressed that in the show as well. He said that if you date somebody that isn't in the public eye, they got to be prepared to be in the public eye. But I mean, overall, if I speak for myself, I wouldn't be picky like that. I would be open as long as there's chemistry and as long as there's some attraction, then you go for it. But I do think that it's quite obvious sometimes that you date people in the public eye because you both know what each other's going through.
You both understand what you're going through. But regardless of the fact that, you know, really it's about chemistry. It doesn't matter whether you are not in the industry or you are. As long as you have chemistry, that's all that matters.
It's true, but you know, sometimes you pose the issue of, like, I was engaged to a school teacher. Nobody knows that, but I did. And he struggled he had a lot of insecurities because here I am walking the runway guy on Victoria's Secret and he can't provide the lifestyle. So I would buy him expensive gifts because I could afford it and I felt like he deserved it. But then I just wanted a simple band, you know, but he wanted me to have like the diamonds and things like that, which I wasn't with him because of that.
So it's basically like a breakdown.
It's
in
a double-edged
communication.
sword.
It
Whether
is.
it's with someone that's famous or someone that's not, you're always gonna have problems, but you just kind of have to use wisdom and your intuition.
How do you feel about it, Josh?
Josh, tell us about it.
I feel like it just depends. For me, like a person's a person. It doesn't matter whether you have a high platform, a big platform, or not. I think it just depends on that person and how comfortable you make them feel and how secure that you make them feel in daily life, because it does get hectic, it does get crazy. But if you have trust, if you have a strong relationship, then it's going to be fine.
Now,
All you's gotta be hard, Josh. I see all the comments on your picture. He'll post a picture of his dog. I love you, Josh. Marry me.
That's my baby.
well, you guys sound so enlightened. So obviously the show did some good.
Yes.
And you're in a relationship with Aubrey, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Talk to me about, for each of you, what was kind of the breaking point that made you want to do this show? What was your aha moment when you realized that you needed to change things up?
Well, I think I knew what I was doing wrong. I was working way too much because that was my block. If I block, then I don't fall in love. And then I don't get hurt. I think that's all of us can agree with that.
You can control your work, but you can't control the relationship.
Right. And then I also met a string of people that were using me because I was a celebrity. And then you become major trust issues start happening. So that was my thing.
I think a lot of us as well, we went into it not because you hit a wall, but because you want to go in there and learn more knowledge. Like I can say from experience that I went in 100% as much as I could to talk about my demons and my problems, but at the same time, I learned something from everybody else, thinking something that might not be my problem was their problem. And I took a lot of stuff away from the show, and you don't go into it thinking to yourself, oh, if you don't find love by the end of the thing, then it's a failure. You go in thinking, what can I learn about myself? As long as you put yourself out there 100%, you can't fool the public, is what I've learned. Is that if you are you, they see it. But if you try to
Transparency is important.
Yeah, exactly.
I 100% agree. The reason that I went on the show was to learn more about myself. Before my last major relationship, I didn't date a lot at all, and I should have dated. So this kind of helped me learn how to be more proactive and put myself out there and start dating more. So that was the purpose of me going on the show.
I went on because I had a lot of high-profile relationships in the past, and I felt like it was my way to kind of combat some of the rumors because I'd never really comment and tell people why a relationship ended, and I felt like people had a misconception of my love life, and they were really interested in it. So I ended up going on and just meeting a bunch of friends, but the aha moment for me was I was in love when I did the show. And I was communicating with the guy when I could get my cell phone because they took your phone from you. So I wasn't really truly open. So it was like, okay, I'm just gonna come here and maybe get some therapy or figure this situation out, not be able to talk to him for an ongoing month, and then maybe figure out if I wanna get back in the relationship. And we ended up breaking up right after, so that happened.
So basically the show gave you clarity.
Yes, very much so.
And you, sir?
So for me, I get presented television shows all the time, and I always turn them down because they never make any sense. But when this one came to me, it made sense because that was what was going on in my life. It's hard to find love being a celebrity, and you think it's funny because there's girls all over the place. I'm a big touring DJ, so there's girls everywhere. So it's easy to find the wrong girls, and believe me, I've been having fun with the wrong ones this whole time. But so it gets to a point where I want to find the right one and to share all these experiences with, and that's why I went on the show. And that was my aha moment, was when I got all these girls and I'm like, I still feel lonely. Okay. So I need that one person to share all this stuff with, and that's why I did the show. And you guys live in this house for 2 weeks, correct? Was it a month or 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah.
A month, okay. Because on the episode that I saw, they had said 2 weeks, but I figured...
It felt like a year, but it was a month.
Yeah, the episode I saw, I bet it felt like a year.
We were roommates for a long time, right?
At what point did you forget that the cameras were there? Or did you never forget?
Oh, God, a lot.
We
got hot with our
and I got
pants down a
really
few
good,
times.
and the producers would be so upset with me because I got really good at unhooking my mic and then walking around.
Oh, girl.
Oh, yeah. I was
She was a bad one.
And then you and Aubrey stayed in that bathroom.
We would be like, girl, let's go to the bathroom, and let's talk.
Oh, that's like the only place where
that was the gossip place
And then
for
next
us.
thing you know, the cameras come because they hear,
like, Jessica, come here.
Writing notes on the mirror with lipstick.
I'd be like, Jessica, come here.
For me, the cameras really weren't a big deal. I think the first show that I went on, it was tough at first. When you see all these cameras in your face and everything, it's like, what am I supposed to do? But to be honest, if you're there for the right reason and you're really trying to learn or there for a purpose, then you're not worried about the cameras. You're worried about your learning experience, and you're worried about getting to know the people that are there or the person that you're going on a date with or something like that. You're not worried about the cameras. The cameras are irrelevant.
It was my first time doing a show like that, and I was freaked out. When I found out I was gonna live with 4 random guys, I was like, who are they? It's a big part of my story. Right? Yeah, no, but the guys actually, you'll see it in the show, really restored my faith in that there is still some really good guys out there. And, it was really difficult for me because, the camera's on you 24/7, like literally. I mean, there's no breaks. You get up, it's on you. You go to sleep, it's on you. And I'm, like he said, we were there for a reason. We were all very real. Everybody was completely open, which was also refreshing because when you're with a bunch of celebrities who have many accomplished goals, you don't know what you're gonna deal with, egos, or clashes. And there were some clashes. There's some good drama, guys. Y'all gonna like it, okay?
Yeah, we got lucky though, because you walk
beautiful.
in on the first night we go out. You show up, and to get that comfort zone, everybody's drinking, everybody gets wild. And the first night, there's arguments for days, and you'll see in the first episode, it all goes a bit nuts. And I was thinking to myself, thank goodness after that, everybody got along because we got quite lucky.
No, they were arguing. I was not involved.
Jessica's always chilled out. Everybody got along.
Jessica's like, I'm out, man.
Well, I do want to ask, speaking of arguments, there was kind of an explosive blow-up between you and someone who's not here right now, Brandi Glanville. What was it like living with her for all that time?
It's so funny you asked that question in the green room. You're like, so what was it like? You know what? We got to know her on a different level, which you guys don't get to. Editing plays a big part of a lot of stuff, but she's a really strong personality. So in the beginning, we didn't know each other. I've never heard of her because I don't really watch the show, but Pauly was a part of our trio equation.
What are those?
In our arguments.
I just sit back and watch. I had popcorn. I'm eating.
And I'm like, Pauly, it's your fault.
Pauly, you did play a role in that first.
Yeah,
one. I mean that
I may
one.
be an instigator. I don't know.
I don't want to spoil it, but we definitely really get into it. I'm very real, and she's also very strong. And once we got past that layer, she's just a cool chick, just a single mom trying to do her thing and get her check. You have to respect that,
Like waking up and Brandi was playing Tupac. She's more thorough than anybody.
Yeah, she's cool. She's an honorary
really is
Latina,
funny.
is what me and my friends tell her.
I'm so glad that you guys wound up being friends because
we all talk.
the first episode would kind of indicate.
And that was
why.
day one.
Crazy. That was
like
day one.
That was day one.
It was only a few hours in.
Yeah.
How about that? I was
Day
like,
one.
girl, stop it.
And I'm like, this is gonna be a crazy season.
Yeah, I was worried. I was definitely worried.
Did any of you for 1 minute think I think I'm gonna go? Like I don't think I'm gonna stick this out.
I wanted to go the first day.
First day.
Because I had never done a reality show before, so out of everyone here, I didn't have any experience, and I was struggling with anxiety, and I was waking up thinking there was a camera, like, shit, what the fuck did I get myself into?
I wanted to go
Oops,
before
sorry.
I walked in.
You can curse.
You can say fuck, okay. And I wanted to go. I was like, okay, let me just breathe. And thank God I had Aubrey and Somaya, because we would have like these girls sleepovers at night and then try not to talk too much so the cameras wouldn't come in. But that kind of saved me and kept me, going.
The girl gossip.
We're glad
real
you stayed
deal.
because you're a very calming influence on the
They had mics underneath the bed. I hope you know that.
Yeah, and in the bathrooms.
I was kidding.
Polly, man, you are.
I
was like, shit.
We tried to hide in the bathroom. We would try to hide in our beds at night. Like, girl, come here. Did you see this?
What is the one dating rule that you broke, or dating bad habit that you broke after doing the show?
We're all still single.
Except for me.
Except for Pauly, sorry.
Except for Pauly, yeah.
Well,
oh no.
I'm not single anymore.
Yeah, true.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but what was different for me is that I was totally kind of like, you'll see on the show how a lot of the stories unfold, but when I left the show, my takeaways, I just felt very free talking about things, so I was more open to maybe getting to know people. And a longtime friend of mine and I kind of reconnected, and now I'm in a relationship. She's a wonderful artist.
That's awesome.
She's a beautiful woman, and we're really happy. So I wasn't into that before. I was like, I'm not dating, man. I'm just working. But I gave her an opportunity, and we just really get along well. So it was different for me.
And so for you, you let your guard down.
I did, and that was very hard for me. And that was a big piece in the house. Jessica would try to help me with that all the time. She'd be like, Somaya, just stop. It's tough when you've been having to be strong, when that's the only choice you have, you know? So it was a very different experience for me in that respect.
What about the rest of you? We all know, you don't even have to answer that one, since you obviously, you know, the show worked for you in the best way possible.
Right, yeah, I can't
I
complain.
noticed for
I'm glad
me, I
did it.
used to always rush into relationships and then like spend a couple of dates with a guy and be like, oh, he gets on my nerve now. But now he's in love and I want to bounce. You definitely don't sleep with them because then it's a real big problem. So, so now I'm just taking my time and allowing myself to, you know, get to know the person and see if I like the person before, you know, we're rushing into a relationship, because I'm a Gemini, so I'm very passionate.
Gemini
and I
season.
love to
Who else?
love in the moment.
June 17th?
Yeah, I love to love in the moment, but then I get tired of the person too, so I'm trying to control my commitment phobes. I'm a woman, but I am definitely very masculine in the way that I deal in relationships. So I've been learning how to soften all that up and be more delicate.
I think we got lucky as well, because Dr. Darcy, who you'll get to know throughout the thing, she's very good at what she does. I mean, I hate to admit it, but for years my mom was telling me to go to therapy, and I never do it. But Dr. Darcy, you sit down with her, and I remember telling myself, no, don't get too involved, don't get too involved. You don't want to open up too much. But because she's such a good therapist and she's such a professional, she got in your brain and in me, and she opened up things in me that was all part of a evolution from what I'm going through in my personal life. But I think it helps you when you get out of the show. To put your love life on national television is, you think, quite cringe, but at the same time, I think everybody learned something from it. So.
Yeah, for me personally, I just started dating a little bit, finally. Now, I'm not dating right now, but I started dating a little bit and trying things out and going on dates and getting to know other different women, because I hadn't done that before. One of the big things with me is going into a relationship, it's tough because nobody likes hurting anybody, but I really don't like hurting women at all. And it was very tough going in a relationship or going on a date if they really are feeling me and I'm not so much. I don't know how to end that or say, you know, bye. So I didn't date. I didn't at all. But I've started dating now. I'm not dating right now, but
everybody out there single.
Let's
not at this very
clear,
moment,
guys.
since you are on stage here. But I said not at this very moment, since you are on stage.
yeah, not at this very moment.
But in the big
I
picture.
mean, I hope so. Yeah, hopefully soon.
Well, I mean, you obviously met your lady on the show, which is amazing. But
Yes.
for the rest of you, how do you go about meeting people?
It's just
Mutual
so
friends.
hard.
You-
Always through
yours isn't
mutual
friends.
friends is what works best. We even tried to do that in the house, which you'll see in an episode. It's probably the best way because you get the cosign. It's like, okay, she crazy? A little bit, but you'll like her.
Out of 10, she's a strong
You gotta
six.
keep it real, you know? You know, it's the best way. Cosigns is definitely the best way to meet people. And if you maybe might be friends with someone that you think, oh, maybe there's potential there, could be a high-low disaster, but
It's really
isn't
not
everything-
normal because, you know, you have a publicist or then a
Somebody
guy
knows
will see you in
somebody.
a magazine and be like, oh, let me slide up in her DMs.
Goes down in the
That was what was cool about the show, though, is that everybody had a different reason for why they couldn't meet people, or what was it, trust, or just meeting somebody new. And
Trust was our number one thing
there
that
was-
we all shared, though.
And each day we went through a different, it sounds so cringe, but a different exercise of how we could do it. And some of them are actually quite fun, so we hope you enjoy it, because there's some really good laughs in it.
Yeah.
And for you, I assume when you're DJing, especially in Vegas, you had the ladies throwing themselves at you, right?
Yeah, well, that was what I was struggling from, because I'm DJing, I'm in a different state every single weekend. There's girls all over the place, and it's cool being this single guy and having fun like that. But then I look at myself at the end of the day, and I'm like, I love all this, it's great, I love my career and passion, but I'm lonely with all these people. if that makes any sense, because I don't have that one person to share all these experiences with. And so that's why when they presented me this concept for this show, I'm like, yeah, let me try it out. And at the very least, maybe I'll get some dating tips or I'll figure out something from it. Never did I ever imagine I'd have a connection inside the house.
Have you guys ever online dated? Online dated.
No, but like I feel like Instagram is on.
Maybe I need to start doing
I
that.
feel like are the DMs considered?
Instagram is online.
Yeah, Twitter and
The
stuff.
DMs are, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. That's the #1 dating app if you ask me. Forget Tinder. Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing in the world. I mean, I pick up hairstylists and makeup artists on Instagram, but never a lover.
Yeah.
Can you imagine DMing someone being like, hey, meet me at 8 o'clock? I guess
meet
people
me.
do it all the time, though.
Some weird DMs
Guilty.
I get, man.
Goes down in a DM.
And has this show given you a better read on people? So, for example, if you meet a guy right now, would you be able to know pretty much right away whether he was in it for you or whether he was in it because of who you are?
I always knew. That wasn't one of my problems, picking out the wrong guys, because I actually had really good men. My problem was not breaking up with them. I had some really amazing men that I hurt, so it was not my, I didn't have.
Heartbreaker.
Well, I mean, listen.
She just can't help it.
It's like, I got options, man.
No, I mean, it's like you work so much from the time you're 13. So one thing that I'm really good at is making money. And I could only love a man so much because I was always busy. And then you don't realize that creates a lot of, problems in the relationship. Because I'm cool with a long distance relationship. My last relationship, the guy would be like, why didn't you call me today? And I was like, well, because we talked late last night. I was cool with not hearing from you today. And that could be a problem, but guys like that too.
I like that too, and it's a Gemini
It's
thing.
a Gemini thing, though.
Gemini thing. We like our space sometimes.
Nothing wrong with that. And for you two guys,
Sounds like I need to date a Gemini.
that's the takeaway from the show.
What's the question?
We're still on Geminis.
Oh, yeah.
No, the question was, are you able, when you meet a woman, are you able to discern her motives pretty quickly now?
I think that we've all been around for long enough and been in situations to be a good judge of character. I like to think that I am, but just without sounding rude, the show wasn't a groundbreaker in any knowledge. It was just taking in more knowledge. You know what I mean? But I like to think you can suss the good from the bad.
No, and the
Standard
show,
life, isn't it, really?
the episode that I saw of the show was really, it was giving you tools to have relationships, which, as she says on the show, none of us are born knowing. So if you're never taught that, how do you know?
Yeah, you don't know, and that's the experience for all of us. We were there to learn. We were open, like, okay, let's do this.
I learned more from my castmates than I did the doctor, but that's another situation.
Yeah, I learned a lot from
wait
these
for the
guys.
show to air.
Everybody
I
on the
feel we
show, I
learned
learned
a lot
ton
from each other.
Yeah, that's where all my knowledge came from.
Which of the exercises that you guys did was the most impactful?
I think the fun. Well, I don't know if we can
Hollywood
talk
Boulevard?
about it. No, I think my favorite
was
was
fun.
Jessica and I pairing up, and we had to
Oh,
go on a date and told what to say. I'm wearing an earpiece. so she's telling me.
That was
Oh my God, Calum
There's some fun ones. If you watch the first episode, it looks so dramatic, but I'm glad that as it evolved, it gets so much more fun. I think
The
back now.
exercises, you guys are gonna die,
I think-
especially the earpiece one.
Because they're feeding you.
So
Calum
funny.
had to feed me what to say on my date. Out the clear blue, he goes, just tell him that.
We had like these blind
Your
dates they
best
would set
friend
us
is-
on. So we'd go on this blind date, and then we'd have one of our housemates in our ear and telling us what to say. And
You had to say it.
Yeah, we had to say
Oh
it.
yeah, and of course,
But
Pauly
we got to
was like,
dress each other.
You remember
I was
Pauly?
messing with her so bad.
What did you have her say? Like, what was one line you had her say?
Listen.
Want me to tell you? So I'm on my date, and he's like, okay, ask her if she likes Italian sausage in her mouth. Ask her if Pauly D's your favorite. Tell me if Pauly D's your favorite DJ. So every 2 seconds, I was like, oh, by the way, Pauly D's my favorite DJ. Like this person must have thought I was obsessed with Pauly D and Italian sausage.
I basically blew that date. She had no chance after that.
Oh, Pauly.
It
Oh,
was so fun, though, guys.
So
It was
fun.
So fun.
And now we'll turn over to our audience.
Hey everyone, I can't wait to watch this. So you spoke about therapy. Since learning what the doctor had to say, have you been judging maybe other people who overreact to things or your friends based on what you learned about internal issues?
Is that everyone? Just a check. Yeah, I suppose you do put into play. you do kind of pick up different bits. Like I said before, you learn something from each person, and I guess when you put it into action. But I haven't been on many dates since the show, hence why I'm still sitting here. But yeah, you take in knowledge and you put it into play. They were pretty good at what
I've become a better listener. You know, I think normally it's like, oh, he's talking again.
What a date.
Gemini.
So I've gotten better with, like, you know, honestly listening and hearing them out and their needs and trying to deliver that, you know, because a relationship goes both ways. It's like, oh, it can't be about Jessica Angel.
Yeah, the
all the
takeaway is definitely for that for me. I'm a little bit more open to a lot of things and listening, and because it does, you get wrapped up into, oh God, again? What? You want me to call you tomorrow?
Oh no, is that what our dates think?
It's a Gemini thing.
I'm never dating again.
It's a Gemini thing. I don't know if it's just when you're single for so long, like you just get into your ways.
I think it's because you're single so long. And
you get into your ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi guys, if you could put together another group of celebrities for another season of the show, who do you think would be really fun to watch?
Us again.
Us again.
Good crew.
I think we need it again.
Yeah. We're gonna be the
You guys
best.
really would be willing to do another season?
Hell yeah.
I'll be honest, as much drama went on, we all enjoyed it. It sounds cheesy, but
It was
I
a
walked
lot
away,
of fun, though.
I walked away with good friends.
So much fun. Yeah. So much fun.
I don't want to do it again because I don't want to be single anymore. I actually want to find somebody. So this
It's
was
like,
a great
maybe we
learning
come
experience,
back
but I'm
and-
done with that. Like, I want to find a wife. I want to have a family. I want kids. I don't want anybody. Like, I just want to go.
Right. I told the producer
He's
when
ready.
he called
Ready
me
to
to
go.
catch up, the producer, and I was like, listen, I'm just going to come to you and pitch you famously. I'm engaged. Or famously having a baby. You never know with me. I'm a little bipolar, so.
Whoa.
So being on the show, I know you guys had to come up with the dating ideas. Do you have a personal favorite first idea when you're trying to meet somebody? And for all the young folks in the audience, do you have some advice that you learned that maybe you can pass on to us?
I still don't have any ideas, or I have no pickup lines, or like any advice really, other than just get out of your comfort zone. Like, you have to be uncomfortable in order to be comfortable later on.
Yep.
You just got to do it. You just got to go up to somebody. Like, for me, when I'm attracted to a woman, I get shy, I get tense, I get tight. I don't know what to say. She'll walk right by me. I'm like, damn, Josh, again. But you just go up to her, say something, say you look beautiful, or
Be a little bit more
compliment.
proactive.
Yeah.
Proactive.
And then if you
right?
make it on a
Proactive.
date, put your phone away. Just at least
Yeah,
for that
no
day.
phone,
Please,
no
no
phone.
Snapchatting on the date.
Yeah, don't be
guys.
Snapchatting your meal and stuff. Enjoy the person.
I would suggest that you just be so confident in yourself that that person is chasing you versus you chasing them.
She's a gangster.
And then maybe
That's
on a
one
lighter
way.
note,
Playing those games, Jess.
I think dinner and drinks is always like the standard, but I think just do something fun, do something lighthearted, do something that's just quite random, you know, because I think people will enjoy you being a bit more creative than just dinner and
A
drinks.
nice casual setting. Where
Yeah,
you can
or
talk.
don't go to dinner. Dinners are very
Formal.
formal and they make you very uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to eating in front of a man. You know, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, shit, I eat sloppy, you know? And I
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, put it back 14-ounce steak.
Josh likes it.
Yeah, so what I've
Like
learned
it.
is like being active. Like I love nature, so take a walk. You know, take a walk around the park or something. So you're moving and you don't really have to have too much eye-to-eye contact. with the-
Gemini.
Close to an Uber.
Everybody's gonna think I have major commitment issues. I better shut up.
Check, make sure there's an exit route to the left and the right.
Make
Make sure your friend's on standby.
Not to mention, but you're totally right.
But I've literally gone on dates and had a standby car on the side. Like, my driver is right outside if this nigga start acting
Girl,
stupid.
bye.
And
I
then
wouldn't-
at dinner,
I don't know if
you
that's
sit
good
at the
advice.
Table, you know, you run out of conversation.
Love you, Jess.
I'm just saying, so
This
always
is the tone
be
of her
safe,
on the
ladies.
show, guys.
Be safe.
And last question, please.
Guys, I wanted to know from the whole cast, what was the worst date that you've ever been on? And since you guys are famous, I wanted to know, have you ever dated someone who was kind of like a stalker?
A what?
A stalker.
Oh.
Yeah, I have.
Turn stalker? Yeah.
What was the worst date?
Okay, so we were thrown into situations we would never normally be in. Like when we were on the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica and we had to randomly pick people to go on a date with. That was uncomfortable. I wouldn't say I had a worse date, but that date, like the guy wouldn't stop drinking. He ended up hammered on a boat with all my castmates. So was it your date that I started talking to, or was it yours? The girl.
Mine.
Yeah, so I stole his girl date. So,
And I was cool with it.
and he was cool with it. He's like, that's my girl. But that was really weird. Like, he got hammered. Like, why would you do that, you know?
I don't know if I don't want to put any of the women down that I've dated. I don't think I've had like a bad date. The most interesting experience I've had on a date, or one of the most interesting experiences, I guess, when we were on the show together and we were on a cruise. We were kind of on a yacht, and we had to pick people on the promenade, or whatever that area is called, and take them on a date. Well, I really couldn't find anybody, so I kind of got slapped together with somebody at the end. And Aubrey was there, and we have some singers over here, and she just started singing in front of everybody for me while we're kind of talking. And it's just very uncomfortable to have somebody singing right in your face on a first date. So I was smiling and everything, and I was very appreciative for her talents. But I didn't know if she was auditioning to try to like do stuff with Somaya or the DJ get a mix or something like that. So it was very uncomfortable. But
I got a .com on my date.
Yep. Yep.
I went out on a date and the girl started singing for me, so I wasn't mad at her. I was like, all right, girl.
They're trying to showcase their talents on TV.
A lot of confidence.
And it was it was very strange.
And what about you guys?
I don't think I've had a bad day. I've probably been somebody's bad date.
Oh. Yeah, you won't let the guy eat.
Like, no, you know, like I have this thing where I fall asleep with my eyes open when a person's boring. So I'll just be like.
It's true.
She does. It's freaky.
I seen it, and I took a picture of it because I didn't believe it. She was asleep, so her eyes open. It's the craziest thing.
So I've probably
Jess.
I've probably been that person, you know. But all in all, I don't think I've had any bad days.
One day on the show that Jess did, when I had to watch and tell her in her ear what to say, the dude was so patient. Like when we were done, I wanted to go to him and slap him high five and be like, "Well done, bro," because that was not easy. Because I'm telling her what to say, and he's like, the face, because you see his face, and the facial expressions light up. He's like, this can't be for real. He's looking around like, am I getting punked right now? Am I getting punked? Bless him.
I pulled out some cards and I did a reading on him, and a girl popped up, and I was like, who is she?
We had a lot of fun on our dates. Like, that's what was fun about it, because we could kind of give and take. But I'm sure some of those people were like, what's wrong with these people? No wonder they're single.
And Pauly, your worst date before we wrap it up?
My worst date, you know what? That was my problem. I don't date much, so can't think of a worst date.
On the show, maybe? On the show?
On the show, I would have to say we did this blind date thing where we were blind. They covered our eyes, and they would just like throw girls at us when you have to talk to them. So if you can't see them and knowing what they say, you can't relate which one's which. So I was getting confused. I was calling one name, calling one the other name. That was a disaster for me. I couldn't see anything. And so I'm asking them the same questions. Like, you just asked me that. I'm like, I can't
sorry.
you. So I would say that was a disaster.
Well, and when can we see the show?
June 14th on E!
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.